Welcome to the Saturday preview show here on PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel. I'm Kerry Pollock, joined here once again with Tam McManus and Alan Ruff. We're back with domestic football. Tam, Rangers take on Hibs this weekend. McCausland, Seamat, Dowell, Sterling all back. Positive for Rangers?
Yeah, I mean, they're struggling a little bit with injuries. I think that Yilmaz's obviously picked an injury up in international duty, so they might be missing him. Listen, it's a really important game, obviously, that all eyes will be on next week when they play Celtic, but Hibs are in good form at the minute. You know, in the last 6 or 7 away games, they've scored. So this will be a tricky game for Rangers. If Hibs score first, listen, it's game on. If Rangers score first, then you'd expect them to go and win the game. But Rangers have lost the last 2 home games, Benfica and Motherwell. So Hibs can go and maybe take advantage of a wee bit of nervousness in the stands if they can get the first goal. You said in your column this week that Hibs haven't had a statement win, a big result. Could this be it? Could this set a fire under I hope so. They haven't. I think it's 20 games since they last beat Rangers in the league, which I think is incredible. Obviously, Martin Boyle in the League Cup was 2 or 3 years ago, the last time they actually beat Rangers. So, yeah, I think that Nick's needing a result like that. He's had a draw at home, I think, to Celtic 0-0 and a couple of draws at Tynecastle. But if Hibs can go there and beat Rangers, then I think the Hibs fans would think, by the way, he is a real deal going forward. Yeah, Ruffy, as Tam's saying, their Hibs are in good form at the minute. Have they left it too late for a top 6 finish in your eyes?
No, I don't think so. I think, as Tam says there, they're playing reasonably well. If they were to go there and maybe get a draw, you know, with the other 2 games in it after that. But it's all about how they perform. You know, if they perform as a unit, they've got a chance. But if the defence is a wee bit, you know, off the boil, you know, you would expect Rangers to win that game. But I mean, Hibs will be looking at the Motherwell game. You know, if they're good enough, Motherwell's good enough to go there, Hibs will be saying we should be good enough as well. But I still think Rangers have got too much in it. So I'm going to go Rangers 2-1. 2-1.
Sam?
I'll go 2-1 to Rangers as well.
2-1 as well. And Aberdeen take on Ross County. Still managerless, Aberdeen. Surprised about that?
Yeah, I am. Actually, I think that the international break, I think a lot of people expected Aberdeen to have a manager appointed. There's a lot of names floating about, obviously. Michael O'Neill's the major one. I don't think he's going to leave Northern Ireland, so it looks as if Aberdeen are going to maybe go with what they've got, and that would Peter leaving for the next few weeks. Assuming they go and beat Ross County, then Peter maybe get to the end of the season. But this is a huge game for both clubs, but I think particularly for Aberdeen. You know, there's a lot of rumours up there that they could get sucked into a relegation battle. If they win this game today, then I think they put that to bed, and I think they will. I think Ross County have won 1 game away from home all season in the league. They're not the same team as they are in Dingwall. Aberdeen, I think they've got too much for them, and I fancy Aberdeen to win this 2-1. Yeah, 3 points separate the two sides just now, Ruffy. Are Aberdeen too good of a side to be where they are right now?
Not in the form that they've been playing. You know, they are a big side, there's no doubt about it. And if they were to go out the division, it'd be a big miss to a lot of other teams because they do carry a big support away from home. So, you know, the new manager thing leads me to think that it's somebody in contract, you know, somebody who's at a club and they can't delve in until they get maybe things sorted out behind compensation behind the scene, something like that. I might be wrong, but I still think Aberdeen have got too much. The pressure's on them, they've got to score first. You know, they've got to get the fans behind them. And if they get that, I think that the players will go on and win the game quite comfortably. And comfortably for me is 2-0.
2-0, and you said
2-1 Aberdeen.
2-1, right, okay. Hearts take on Kilmarnock at Tynecastle. 2 managers who've done exceptionally well this season for both sides. If you could just nominate one of them for Manager of the Year, who would it be and why?
Ooh, I think as it stands right now, I'd say Naismith, I think, for Hearts. Yeah. I think Kilmarnock are obviously sitting in 4th at the minute, but Hearts, you know, sitting in 3rd, miles clear, had a good season in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup, and there was a lot of questions being asked of Stephen at the start of the season. Stephen Naismith, was he the man for the job? They started pretty slowly, but I think over the last 6 or 7 weeks they've really shown consistency. They're beating the rest comfortably, apart from obviously just before the break they lost to Ross County, but I think Stevie Naismith, Manager of the Year, out of those 2 at the minute. Yeah. And I'd fancy Hearts at home, with home advantage, to beat a Kilmarnock team that I'm still not convinced about on their travels. Right, okay. What's the scoreline? 3-1 to Hearts. 3-1 Hearts. How much does the stadium play in this, Ruffy? Tynecastle, obviously, notoriously tough to go to as well as Rugby Park as well. So it could swing in Hearts. I don't think any of us won at Tynecastle, did we?
No, I never won it.
Did that? That's about 500 Hibs games between us. I didn't need to beat Hearts at Tynecastle.
I won one game at Tynecastle, but it wasn't against Hearts, it was against Bayern Munich. I played in an Edinburgh Select against Bayern Munich at Tynecastle, so that's more.
Still counts.
That's the only one. So, no, I think Tynecastle is much better to play in, I think, than Rugby Park.
Yeah.
Tynecastle atmosphere's great. The crowd's right behind you, and I think the Hearts players playing in front of that when they're winning, it oozes a confidence. It's okay when you're winning, but if it goes the other way, it gets a wee bit anxious. But I think Kilmarnock have went off the boil a wee bit at the wrong time, and I think Hearts will win this one 2-0.
2-0. Well, Motherwell take on St Mirren. St Mirren assistant manager Dermot O'Carroll says everyone's got something riding on these last 3 games before the split. Tam, did you have that in your career? Would you felt that every team around you had something to play for?
Sometimes, the split, obviously, depending on where you were. A couple of times at Hibs we were in the top 6, or we were challenging for third, and a couple of times we were in the bottom 6. So both these teams, Motherwell still get a slight outside chance of getting in the top 6. I don't see that happening, but St Mirren obviously looking for a top 4 finish. It could possibly be European football. I think they'll be smarting still from that down they got at Rugby Park just before the break. This is a tough one to call, actually. I mean, I'd sit in the fence here with a 1 each draw. I don't fancy either of the teams to win this game, so I think a draw probably.
Both come into this on the back of defeats, Ruffy. Does that mean that both of them will play a bit more aggressively, considering that the countdown to the split is on?
Well, I think both of them want to be in the top 6. I think we've already discussed being in the top 6 for any of these two clubs. You're talking with the attendances, Rangers and Celtic, and everything that goes with it. It's another couple of 100,000, in the kitty for next year. So both of them will know what the worth is there to get in there. And there's a couple of clubs over the couple of years have just missed by a goal difference or something, and it's a lot of dough. I think St Mirren have had their season. I think they've had a great season, and I think Motherwell, being at home, I'll just nick this one 2-1.
2-1, right. St Johnstone face Dundee. St Johnstone have scored just one more goal than Livingston this year, Tam. 21 goals. Is Nicky Clark coming back at the right time for the Saints?
Yeah, I think he is. I think that's always been the issue with St Johnstone, not only this season but over the last 4 or 5 seasons. They've not really had a regular goal scorer. Stevie May hits a purple patch now and again, so does Nicky Clark. Dundee, they certainly don't lack for goals. They've scored a lot of goals this season. It's a bit of a derby, Tayside derby, I suppose. I think Dundee can go there and win the game. I think that St Johnstone, I've never been convinced with them all season, and I think they will finish second bottom. And I think that Dundee, knowing that Hibs are going to Rangers, and they could with a win, they could probably go above Hibs back into the top 6 is a huge incentive for them. With a big travelling support come down for Dundee. So I think Dundee might nick this 2-1.
Does the teams run about you, Ruffy? This is the time of season where the points are tight. You're looking at who each other is playing. Tam makes a good point there. Hibs are away to Rangers. It could be a beating for them. This is Dundee's chance to maybe up their game and go into the top 6.
Yeah, I always say that managers have fixture lists in their office, and they look at the games that are coming up. They look at the games of, we get 3 points here or a point there or whatever, we could jump this. And at this particular time, with the split being so near, every point is vital. I think St Johnstone will be scrapping for their lives. I think they might get a draw at this one, and I'm going to go 1 each.
1 each then. Right, tomorrow we have Livingston against Celtic. The last meeting was very interesting between these two. Tam, can we expect much of the same with Livingston being at home?
Yeah, I think Livingston surprised a lot of people at Parkhead in the Scottish Cup game, where they were arguably unlucky at times not to get something out of the game, or not maybe sneak extra time. Listen, I think that Celtic are starting to get players back now. I've seen Hatate back training, which is a huge. Yang's obviously back from suspension. So they're starting to get players back. I think Carter Vickers will be ready. Callum McGregor probably not for this game, but they'll all be looking ahead. But again, you've got to look after your business. You can't look too far ahead. If you drop points, where your Rangers against Hibs or your Celtic against Livingston, you get into that Old Firm game in a downer. So it's important that you get 3 points. Livingston, for me, are relegated. I don't think they've got a lot to play for. And I think, although they'll make it difficult for Celtic at times, Celtic will have too much quality in the final third and will win the game 3-0.
3-0, right, okay. Brendan Rodgers won't be in the dugout, Ruffy, but he will be back for the Rangers game. Was that a fair punishment in your eyes?
Yeah, it's a sort of 50-50, isn't it? he's been punished, but no punished too. You know what I mean? So both of them are coming away going, "Oh, we won that one," but I don't think they did. You know, it was. I'd love to know how much they spent, you know, to get that, the lawyer and everything that went with it. You know, just to get being on the bench. You know, so.
Well, apparently it was the Lionel Messi of sports law
Yeah,
that Brendan Rodgers had.
If he's Lionel Messi, he's probably about 100,000 you know, as a fee. But no, I think it just depends on when Celtic score.
Yeah.
If Celtic score early on, I think it'll be a comfortable 2-0.
Comfortable.
But it's up to Livingston to show how much they really want to stay in the league. But I agree with Tam, they've gone now.
Yeah, right, okay, let's move on to the quiz. Did you win the last time before the international break?
5-1. 4-1.
4-1. Oh, you get a point.
3-2.
It's okay.
Aye.
Must have been the week
We'll talk
before.
about it later. It was 3-2.
I guess it was. Right, fastest answer wins. Who is the latest Scotland international to be added to the Roll
Stuart
of
Armstrong.
Honour? Stuart Armstrong.
The Hall of Fame, did they? Wow.
Yes.
The 50th cap.
It was his 50th cap, yes. Okay, it's question number 2. Which EPL star scored for Hibs the last time they beat Rangers?
McGinn.
That's heavy.
Right, for the win, Tam. Let me get the question out, right.
Right, I'll let it off you.
Queen of the South, St Johnstone and Hearts complete the career of which current Jambo?
Xander Clark.
He did at the very, very start of his career, yeah. Okay, and
I actually gave you a chance
Oh,
there.
no, I wouldn't have got that.
right, okay, you might get this one. Who is Dundee's top goal scorer?
Zach Robinson.
No.
He doesn't, that's not a player, by the way. Is it Zach Robinson?
Yeah, he's still there.
McCowan.
Correct. 5, the clean sweep. Which
okay.
animal is the
Oh.
Ross... Oh,
There you go.
what animal is the Ross County mascot?
Stag.
5-0
It's a week
to Tam. He's had a week off. We'll let him off for that one. Rusty this week. We'll be back next week with some more Premiership action to look forward to. Thanks for watching.